Knicks center Ariel Hukporti has a torn meniscus. He is out 4 to 6 weeks. Earned his first career start with Karl Anthony Towns being out the last game, and this stinks, man. 4 to 6 weeks, torn meniscus. He even came back in the game. We thought it was a sprained knee. Came back in the game, and then wound up, leaving. And then we find out that it is a torn meniscus. Man, Chris, this stinks. Like this
Yeah,
truly does stink.
yeah, it's a tough blow for Hukporti. I mean, look, getting like you mentioned, getting his first career start in his young career. I was excited for it. Wanted to see what he could go out there and do, and you saw exactly what he could do. Brought lots of energy.
Yeah.
Had a nice block. Altered a lot of shots, which doesn't show up on the box score. But when he was out there, I felt like he was effective. I thought he looked pretty damn good for a rookie making his first start, and then unfortunately goes down with what we now know is a torn meniscus. They're saying 4 to 6 weeks for Hukporti. It sucks, man, because you know obviously we're lacking size at that center spot, and that's something Hukporti brought for us, but it was short lived. Short lived.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're lacking size, and as one center gets hurt, another center returns. Mitchell Robinson is scheduled to return the next game against the Memphis Grizzlies, so that is a positive that we finally get Mitchell Robinson back. But it stinks in the fact that you kind of look at that position now, and the Knicks are kind of thin at the center position. You traded Sims. Your only bigs are really Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson. And, we just hope that Mitch comes back and he's good. I'm sure he's going to be on a minute restriction. But for Ariel Hukporti, it truly does stink. And I feel for him because he was just starting to get some, consistent minutes. And Tom Thibodeau was just starting to trust him. And we know that's, important for, a young player to earn the trust of Tom Thibodeau. And, Hukporti was getting sporadic minutes. And, the thing I love about Hukporti is that he, last pick in the second round, he was always learning. Like he's always getting better. Dibbs has said it in the post games. Brunson has said it that he's always willing to learn. He's a learner, and you can't teach size. And for his size, he was pretty darn good. We really didn't know what to expect from him. Obviously, he has shown tremendous amounts of progress from the start of the season. But I truly do feel for him. So the timeline, Chris, it brings him until the middle of April, which is right before the playoffs begin. So I'm just hoping that he can get back healthy. Does this end his season? Because you're talking about right before the playoffs, and in the playoffs, rotations shrink.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
I don't
think
know.
I think essentially, depending on what happens with his recovery, I could see it kind of being a season ender for him, right? Because come playoff time, that rotation shrinks. Tom Thibodeau's only going to trust his veterans, right? And if you're trotting out Hukporti in the playoffs, to me that tells me things went pretty bad, from a health standpoint. So I think, yeah, I mean, it could essentially be the end of Hukporti's seasons per se. Um, it just came at such a bad time. Again, getting his first start on the Knicks.
Yeah,
This was his chance to kind of prove his worth. Just show the squad that he can have an impact in limited minutes, if that.
yeah.
And unfortunately, he went down, so now he's not going to get that opportunity. Throughout the next 4 to 6 weeks to kind of show what he can do. Granted, Mitchell Robinson is on his way back, like you mentioned, but with Mitch being on a minutes restriction, you could see a scenario where Porty is getting 10 minutes a game,
Yeah. Yep.
So it sucks, man. I feel for him too, man. It was his time to shine and kind of got taken away from him.
Yeah, Hukporti is, I guess you want to say an older rookie. He's going to turn 23 soon. Last pick in the second round, 6'11". The thing I love about Hukporti is he shot 78% at the rim. Now, granted, it's a small sample size, 14 of 18 for, his shots at the rim. Super efficient, 73% efficiency, field goal percentage. That, small sample size, but that was a 99 percentile at his position. even the short mid range, he showed us a little. Chris, he had a little bit of offensive game. It reminded me a lot of Isaiah Hartenstein. And I know we're kind of like writing the obituary for Hukporti, like this is a season ender. But I'm just hoping that the bottom line is I'm hoping that he can come back
Yeah.
because he's one of those players who you draft it and has improved, and you just want to see a player like that, especially continue to progress. So from short mid range, I'm looking at he's 3 of 5 from short mid range. Reminded me a lot of Hardenstein, Chris. He has a better offensive game than Mitch. That's for sure. He's showing us more on the offensive side than Mitch with a couple of those moves. Not a slight at Mitch. I'm just saying. I love Mitch, but
No,
Hukporti's a
yeah,
sneaky good offensive player. So
yeah, and it's funny you mentioned iHeart in there
yeah,
because it's no secret that they mentioned when it comes to Hukporti that iHeart was actually his mentor. He's actually German,
yeah,
and they have a connection there. So I'm sure he's always reaching out to iHeart. I'm sure iHeart's giving him pointers, things like that. But it's funny you mentioned iHeart because I do see some of that too, and
yep.
I think maybe as he develops, is he going to get to the level of an iHeart? Probably not, but
You never
it
know.
could still be a serviceable big, right? Someone
Yeah,
you can come off the bench, give you that energy, obviously that rim protection, and if he can do a little bit on the offensive side, hey, that's a bonus, right? But look, he's shown enough that Jericho Sims is no longer on the squad, right? He's kind of
yeah.
going to be taking that role from Jericho Sims. And again, look, it sucks that he went down because this was his chance to kind of show his game. So I mean, will we see him in 4 weeks? That would be the best case scenario, in my opinion. I think that gives him a little bit of time to maybe get back on the court and, show his stuff, right?
Yeah.
6 weeks, I think that's cutting it a bit too close, though.
Look, he's a big man and with a knee injury, and it sucks that already rookie season he's already has a torn meniscus. But look, Mitch coming back, Hukporti on the shelf, positive, I guess. If you want to look at it like the silver lining. So now Mitch is back in the fold, and like I said prior, you're all of a sudden kind of thin. So Moses Brown, I think, got signed with a 10-day contract to the Dallas Mavericks, I believe. And he was in the G League for the Knicks, and that was like an intriguing name to watch. So March 1st is almost here, and the New York Knicks have one roster spot open. And starting on Friday, tomorrow or today, depending on when you're listening to this, February 28th, they can sign a player to the rest of the season. They can sign, they can go, they can also do a 10-day route. They are below the second apron by $540,000. And the 10-day contract cap hit is $119,000. So it's been rumored, Chris, that player, it would obviously be TJ Warren, but I'm wondering now, do the Knicks kind of pivot, and kind of look for a big? But like I said, they lost Moses Brown to the Dallas Mavericks, who were, dealing with a bunch of injuries. So I guess the rumor is it's going to be TJ Warren, and get ready to learn center, buddy. Get ready to learn center, TJ.
Oh boy, I don't know if you're trotting TJ Warren out there at the center spot, but I do think TJ Warren is a good option.
Yeah.
Look, Mitch is coming back. Obviously, he's going to be limited, but we're already seeing Precious playing the five, and I kind of think that's where they're going to roll. I still think we need a little bit more shot creation off the bench, and I think that's something. Even though he's now an older player, but I think that's something TJ Warren can bring for us. Just someone who can get his shot off without needing to be set up by Jalen Brunson or another guard at that. So, but it's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, I don't know who is out there that's actually available, for the Knicks to plug in at the center spot. But
Yeah, it's
as
tough.
long as it's not somebody like a Taj Gibson, I'd be pretty much open to it.
You don't want no Taj reunion again? Yeah, I don't want no Taj reunion again.
Oh
Look,
man, been there, done that. How many times? That's
like
no shade at Taj Gibson,
yeah,
man.
no shit at Mr. Taj,
He's our
but
friend,
yeah,
but
I think we're kind of like past that bridge. But yeah, I mean, Chuma Okeke, had a career high a couple of days ago, 30 points and 11 rebounds in, for the Westchester Knicks.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are just chalking up TJ Warren to be that guy, but now, like I said, they're very thin right now. Towns is dealing with a knee injury, and you're relying on Mitch and Towns to be your center duo, and obviously you have Precious there. So look, it's the life of the NBA. Things happen. I'm just sucks that Hukporti had to go down with the injury, but Mitch is coming back, right, and that's exciting. I'm happy to see Mitch back. We finally get to see Mitch, and I'm wondering how those lineups are going to be with Cat. Does he start right away? I don't know, but Mitch is back.
Probably not, but I'm excited, man. I've
Yeah,
been wanting to see Mitch alongside Cat, or just Mitch back in general, because again, I feel Mitch is he's a big piece of this puzzle, right? All the
yeah,
things that we're lacking right now, rim protection, pick and roll defense, just that presence in the paint where, some guys are gonna, do a double take now when they drive into the paint and they see Mitch there. Obviously,
yeah.
he's gonna take some time to come up to speed. We all know it takes Mitch some time to get into game shape and things like that. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited at what it could be, especially when he gets paired up with Towns. So, I mean, that's something to be excited about. But going back to Hukporti, it's a shame, man. It's a shame because one thing I love about Hukporti is just at the bare minimum, the amount of energy he brought out there. He was just
Yes,
flying around that court, and that's something we've been lacking too. There's times when the Knicks look very lackadaisical out there, and he just came out. He comes out there and he gives you that energy. So even that in itself is a boost to this team. So we're gonna miss
yeah.
Hukporti, man. Even though he only got his first start recently, it sucks.
Look, Okporti has a tremendous, upside in this league, and I feel like he will come back strong. I just it sucks, like you said. Look, he should have been playing over Sims early on in the season. Obviously, he was dealing with some stuff in the G League, some injury stuff and whatnot. Now he's down with the knee injury, but get well soon, Mister Ariel Hukporti, because man, this stinks, man. Dude was just getting playing time, and then poof, gone. But hey, you know, like I said, Mitch is coming back, so I guess you Hukporti goes and Mitch comes back, but it just stinks for Hukporti. I hope that the 4 to 6 the meniscuses are tough too. I mean, they say 4 to 6 weeks, but for a big man his size, I don't know. So that's why we talked about if his season's gonna end or whatnot, but just a waiting game now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's kind of chalk it up to how bad it is, right? How bad was the tear? Hopefully it's something not too bad, and then the 4 to 6 weeks is just a precautionary timeline. But yeah, I mean, look, we gotta deal with it, and luckily we have Mitch around the corner, right?
He played
So
a defensive possession with his torn meniscus, by the way. I want everyone to know that. Dog.
how did you feel about that, man?
Dog.
He gets hurt. He was obviously limping. They said it on the
Yeah,
broadcast. He
right
was
away
out.
he called to come out the game. He knew something was
Yep.
up.
He was out for like a couple possessions, and then
And then
Tibbs
they
was
put
like,
him back in the
"Get your ass
game.
back out there."
And I'm like, what's your process here with, determining if something is torn in the knee?
Yeah,
So that is not what you want to see from the Knicks training staff. But hey, they found it. Hopefully he gets the surgery soon. They fixed it. He played a defensive possession when he came back in the game. So obviously, they found out a day later, but it sucks. But
yeah.
yeah, Hukporti, please get better soon. We miss you already. Love watching you play. Man, this stinks. Oh
It
man.
stinks, man.
Yeah.
In the limited time we finally get Hukporti out there, and poof, he's gone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But wishing Hukporti the best, a fast recovery,
Yes.
and look, the future's bright, man. He's
Very
gonna
bright.
continue to
Yep.
develop, and he could be a piece for us down the road.
You definitely can be. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation.
I'm Chris.
Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe. Smash the like button. All the good stuff. Catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.